Hi Cancer, I hope you guys are doing great today. Welcome to your general messages for the first 2 weeks of June for love and career. I'm going to start with love, then I'm going to go to career. I'm going to timestamp for career if you're not interested in relationship messages, okay? I hope you guys are doing great today. Remember, these messages are general. Don't try to make them fit if they don't. Please don't do that. Definitely check your rising sign, moon sign, and Venus, especially your rising sign, guys. That is most important, especially when we're talking about any sort of transits, okay? I'm going to be doing the astrology for June as a separate video in a few days, as well as getting that Black Moon Lilith video out to you guys. I'm thinking about doing that as a live though, so you guys can ask questions because I don't want you guys to be confused. So that should be over the course of the next week, so keep an eye out for that. All right, let's get right into this, guys. We do have it on the 5th. I'm not going to be talking too much astrology, but I need to mention the June 5th, the lunar eclipse in Sagittarius is going to be hitting your 6th house of every day, day to day. Now, remember, or know, for those of you who don't know, you Cancer work in tandem with Capricorn, right? You guys are ascending and descending from each other. So your energy is always it sort of works as this infinity symbol, as the 6th house is impacted by the 12th house. The 6th house is your day-to-day. It's your business, it's your work environment in the day-to-day. It's your health. It's what you do in the morning when you get up until you go to bed at night. It's how you work your everyday. The 12th house is where your dreams hang out. It's also where addictions hang out. It's the house of self-undoing, but it's also the house where we get in touch with what it is that we really want for ourselves, what we want for ourselves in that relationship, what we want for ourselves having to do with career. Now, this is going to be hitting on June 5th. So it's going to be really this dynamic between the 6th house and 12th house energies are going to be very real for you guys, okay? So I do want to mention that, as an aside, some things to keep in mind here. So this lunar eclipse, it's going to last for, the energy is going to last for about 3 months, but you want to think about in the past 6 months, Cancer, what changes have gone on? What's strong in your life? What is developed into a very firm foundation, right? And what's not? And what is in this lunar eclipse, even though you're going to have some challenges in that area, it's going to be made stronger because of it. Whatever is really weak and strong in a weak foundation, or is very shady, or something you're really unsure about, is going to burn away. All right, and that's just the way the energies work here. So let's get some astro dice for some crowning messages. We got Virgo. You might be dealing with a Virgo. We have the 2nd house of resources, right? So these are things that are going to be impacting relationship. And then we have the sun. All right, so listen, let's starting with the sun. The sun is really, asking, where is your ego, for good or bad, getting in the way right now? So you just want to make sure you think about that, having to do with the relationship. So we have Virgo. Virgo energy is a very pragmatic energy, right? And you're really being asked to take a closer look at something in your relationship right now. You might have to slow down your mind to see what it is, but you're being called here to really pay attention to that. You're being called to pay attention to the health of the relationship, because it's really what this is. Now, what I think is really interesting too is the fact that we got Virgo. We're having the lunar eclipse in for you in the 6th house, and Virgo is the natural, its natural home is in the 6th house. Virgo is all about the day-to-day. Virgo is all about health. And because this is a relationship read, you're really being asked to really look at how healthy is the relationship. Is there solid reciprocation? What's going on here? And we have this happening in the 2nd house here. So this is really asking you to really question, how effortless is this relationship? And what do I mean by that? 2nd house is about resources. It's things we value. But when we get this with the astro dice, it's asking us to look at, within the relationship, when do you feel like you're in the most flow with your partner? And if you're not with anybody right now, think back to when you had that with somebody. And if you never had it with somebody, get in touch with what it is that you envision for yourself, that flow of ease, right? Knowing that nothing is ever perfect. When you have two different energies brought together as a union, there is going to need to be some sort of healthy discussions that go on as far as compromise and all of that, but that's normal. I'm talking about when you feel in the flow of your relationship, when you feel like, yeah, you know what, this person is the right person for me. What's going on? What are you guys doing? Are you sharing things in your day-to-day, right? Are you acknowledging right now that maybe things are not lining up in the day-to-day of your relationship? Or maybe you're in a space of appreciating how well you and a partner connect on the day-to-day, right? But now I just want to mention the Page of Wands, for those of you wondering why this guy is out here. When I did my premeditative shuffle, sometimes cards fall out and I put them back in and I keep it in my mind as an energy to just be mindful of when I do the reading. This guy kept coming out 4 times. So I said, okay, this guy just needs to come out. So we have the Page of Wands. I'm going to add this to the crowning energies. Page is a new cycle in the relationship where there's willingness, there's passion, there's desire, there's fire, right? So I like that as a crowning energy for you guys with the relationship, because that tells me that there's a lot of motivation, and that's going to be very necessary for June. June's a wonky month. That's why I'm doing a whole separate video on it. We have, you know, eclipses. We have we have a solar eclipse happening on the 21st. We have Venus coming out of retrograde in Gemini. We have Mercury going into retrograde in Cancer. It's like craziness. So we'll do that in a separate video. But I like that there's going to be a lot of gumption in you to actually work towards this relationship. So look what we have in your recent past. Now, this could be last week, last month, last year, whatever it is, right? This could even be if you're single. The Chariot reverse is being on the wrong path, not making the right decisions in relationship, not being where you're supposed to be. Not being where you're supposed to be. Because Chariot in the upright is connected to Cancer, which is that metaphorical space of home. It's being on the right path. Cancer is that 4th house energy of home, safety, love, right? And in the reverse, it's wrong path, okay? Getting some bad advice, making some wrong decisions. Right now we have nice, brand new path. I love the 3 of Wands. 3 of Wands is probably my favorite minor arcana because it's a Sun in Aries energy. So there's a lot of positive energy pulling you forward on your path. This tells me that there are people who really energetically want to help you on this new path in this relationship. So when I get this for relationship reads, I get that it's you guys working in tandem on this next path, this next leg of your journey. Aries is indicative of a new beginning, a new path within the relationship through a new perspective, a fresh set of eyes. So even if you guys have been together for 30 years, there is an ebb and flow in every relationship. So this does indicate to me there being this new initiative, this new path. And when we have the Sun is healing. The Sun has a lot of epiphanies popping up. There's realization, there's awareness that's happening here. So I like that. Right? Because you're focused on the future. This is the only card that we don't see the person's face. Right? You know why? Because this is the past. He's focused on the future. Focus on the future. Looking at the water, which is emotions. Has the wands in front of him, which are will and passion. Right? The ship is there. We're indicative of a new life, a new path, a new way of being. Okay? Now, that's being crossed by the Death reverse. So I like this. This is very in alignment with the Chariot reverse because this indicates a cycle being done. Now, regardless of what situation you're in, Cancer. So I'm going to connect this for the different variations of this. If you're single, you're realizing, guess what? Like being single is not the right thing for your path right now. It's time for you to spiritually and energetically connect with somebody. It's time for you to open yourself up to the new path. And the Death reverse indicates that cycle of the way that you were is over. And you're not going to re-engage with that anymore. You're going to allow the new beginning. Okay, that's if you're single. If you're coupled, and this Chariot reverse indicates where, you guys as a couple, you were just not really connecting, and you were in a really unhealthy space, and things were just not aligning for you guys, and it was a very frustrating energy. This indicates that that's not going to continue anymore. You guys are on a different trajectory, and that cycle is done. And you're not bringing it into the future because now is a new day and a new initiative to move forward in the relationship. Now, for others of you, where you were dealing with somebody who's making some really bad decisions and there was a lot of bad stuff happening in this connection, this does indicate to me that you're going to be leaving that person in the past. You're not going to re-engage. You're going to allow the cycle to die. You're not going to allow a new cycle to happen with that person, and you're going to focus on moving forward. All right. So depending on your relationship situation and status and where you're at, I just explained the 3 interpretations for each one. So we have the 8 of Pentacles as your crowning energy. I like it. Oh, and I love it. We got the Fool as the foundation. I love, love, love the Fool. All right. 8 of Pentacles. Let's look at this. Sun in Virgo. Really great energy, because this is about working towards moving yourself forward. You haven't arrived yet. You're putting in the work. Okay, you're putting in the work. Sun, you're having these realizations, you're having these epiphanies, you're moving forward on the right path. The sun is always the right path, right? Always the right path. You have a healthy ego and a healthy perspective of the relationship. And then we have Virgo. Virgo is a very pragmatic energy. Virgo is also that, right, one of your crowning dice. It also rules that 6th house. So I do get that a very pragmatic approach is going to be handled in relationships. It's very necessary. So there's going to be a lot of really good energy coming out of of taking a very pragmatic approach to this relationship, where you're sitting down and having the conversation. Okay, we're going to move forward like this. Partner of Cancer, what money do we need? Where are we going to live? How are we going to work it out? Who's going to be doing what as far as responsibilities? You know what I'm saying? Having that conversation, but it going really well because the sun is hanging out there. So you guys aren't there yet, but you're actively in a beautiful, blessed phase of trying to figure it out. And you're putting the work in, which, you know, you can't ask for more than that. The work is being put in. Beautiful. Now, that's if you're a couple. If you are single, this does indicate you're really putting yourself out there and it going really, really well. Okay? You're putting yourself out there and meeting somebody. You're allowing yourself to meet somebody and put in the work. Whereas maybe in the past, you were either really beat up from a past relationship emotionally, but you're finally ready now to put in the work. Or maybe you've had past fear of intimacies or fear of abandonment, and you're ready to do things in a healthier way. All right. For those of you who are in an unhealthy connection that you released, this shows me that you are working really beautifully at getting your life back together, at putting yourself on that right path and very forward moving in a very healing energy. Then we have the Fool as the foundation. Love this card. Love it. This is Uranus. This is about the future, guys. Again, future, 3 of Wands, future. Fool is a Uranus energy in astrology. This is all about the future, focusing on how are things going to be done differently, because how things were before, no good. Not re-engaging if this was a bad relationship, not re-engaging with the relationship. This is you getting back out there, really taking a calculated risk, putting yourself on a new path, meeting new people. This could indicate a new relationship for those of you who are single, for those of you who are getting out of an unhealthy relationship and feeling the fire in your belly to take the chance to move forward in something. For those of you who are coupled and you're working your stuff out, you're not re-engaging with any sort of negative cycles, this is a beautiful new approach in the relationship where you guys are going to be putting yourselves out there within the relationship in ways that you never did. You're going to be allowing yourself to be more vulnerable than you ever were before, right? It is kind of stepping into this path of, you know, getting in touch with where maybe you allowed doors to be closed inside of you when it comes to relationships, where you weren't allowing yourself to be totally vulnerable, keeping it real, right? And you allowing yourself to open those doors, right? I mean, and it going really, really beautifully. So I do like this. This is about a new day, right? Uranus is always about a new day. Like, let's get it going on. Let's just like focus on the future, move forward. Let's let that karma burn off from the past, and that's it. Focus for Cancer. This is you right now. This is you. Oh, this is so positive. Yeah, I love it. The world is a Saturn energy, and you know what this says? You have been through it in relationships, my friend. You have been through it. Saturn is no joke, right? But the gift, this is the gift that I always talk about, why I like Saturn. You know, Saturn's not fun to go through. Who likes to deal with like nasty old karma and restrictions and delay and stuff like that. Who wants to deal with that? That's not fun. But the gift on the other side is so beautiful. And I've been talking about this with you guys, actually, I feel like for the past couple of months. Yes. So a lot of really beautiful benefic energies coming to you in relationship. The world is all the cards in one. It's like you have been through it, and now it's time for you to really be happy. Regardless of what your situation is, you're going to end up being happy. So this indicates that if you were single, you're meeting somebody, you're working it out, you're moving forward in that way. You were in an unhealthy relationship, you're meeting somebody new, and you're taking that chance and it's going really well. If you were in that unhealthy, cycle within a connection, you guys working things out and you finding this beautiful, beautiful new normal. I love it. The external energy here is the 8 of Cups reversed. So this is not you. This is an external energy. So let's understand this. This is moving away from toxicity. So this could be, as an energetic influence, the relationship just moving away from anything that's toxic and just really being very forward moving, forward thinking about that 12th house energy, because this is Pisces, right? This is 8 of Cups energy in astrology is Saturn in Pisces, okay? So Pisces is that 12th house. Remember I mentioned you're going to be doing this dance between your 6th house of every day and the 12th house energy, right? Which is Pisces home. So that would be an energetic influence, right, of the relationship. Now, if this has to do with, if you were in an unhealthy, connection and you knew things needed to end, this could be somebody walking away because they're recognizing as well that the relationship is toxic, right? Where there's this really healthy energetic cut of ties that needs to be had. Right? It needs to be had. For those of you who've been single, this is you leaving that life behind you and you moving towards something that is more your dream. But regardless, it's this idea of this future moving, dream space, right, that you're working towards, that's going to be forward movement towards. So this can be somebody that you've been dealing with, though, them moving away from you, but it ultimately being what's necessary for this relationship. If it's a person, if it's an energetic influence, it's just moving past the toxicity. Now, your fear is a Page of Pentacles, which is very kind of interesting to me. I totally understand it. I do get it. I mean, in relationship, Pentacles is, it could be money, but it's emotional, mental, and physical connection. So for some of you, you may be a little afraid of money, or maybe a lot of afraid, having to do with this new cycle that you're going into. With a relationship, other than money, is good, right? But money may be an issue. So that's going to resonate with some of you, where it's just a fear more than anything. For others of you, it could be you're afraid of the connection. So if you have a fear of intimacy because you've been really hurt in the past, or, because that is that crabby side shuffle I always talk about, right? Where it's like, I think it's just so fascinating, right? Cancer, you guys are the crabs. And it's so fascinating to me that crabs really don't like the water, but they're in the water, you know what I mean? So it's like not totally comfortable in your emotions, even though you're a very emotional sign. So it's like you have to run you do this dance between the ocean and the land, right? Because you're trying to balance yourself out, and so you guys are just so sensitive, and that's what it is, right? So you can very well be in this space where you're fearing the connection, where the pentacle energy here is indicative of that connection. You're afraid of letting yourself go. You're afraid of opening yourself up to that point because you don't want to be hurt in the first place, or again, whatever your story is. But this is the outcome. Nice. Brand spanking new beginning. I mean, this is newness in how you guys communicate. This is newness in how you guys do your day-to-day. This is a new life with this person. It really is. Now, is this going to happen overnight? No. Remember, these eclipses have to go on. There's energy that needs to shake out and fall into place. But these are the influences that are going to be impacting. Now, in the near future, excuse me, we have the star reverse. So the star, this is an Aquarius energy, and Aquarius is about shaking things up and doing things differently. So I really like this for your future energy, since we have the Ace of Pentacles as the outcome. The star in reverse, this is a Uranus energy, right? It's about the future, which is great, but it's about doing something different. And we don't want that, right? We want to stay in the Ace of Pentacles energy. We want to stay there and we want to work at it. So I happen to like this. You know, the star energy is typically like, you know, I'm moving forward, doing something different towards healing, right? But in the near future, all of this healing and all of the work will have happened already. This indicates to me that you're going to end up in a space where it's like, okay, I want to stay here. Like, I want to stay in this energy and grow in this energy. I'm tired of the changes. I'm good. I'm good. I've had enough changes in my career situation, in my relationship situation, in my love life. So this is you evolving into a beautiful space and you being able to stay there. So I really, really like this for you. I really like it. This is so clear. And what I like about this reading for me is that it's very sort of, it goes A through Z and it's very complete, right? You're coming from something that's toxic, you're working through it, whether you're single, whether you're coming out of a nasty relationship, or whether you're working through issues in a current relationship, whatever it is, you're moving forward. And you're going to end up in this beautiful new space, and you're going to stay there for a while. So I like that. All right, my friends. So that is what I have for you guys for the relationship portion for my Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus friends. And let's get into career now. Okay, get into career. Pull some messages we need. Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Why don't we throw Cancer 10th house and 2nd house onto that as well? Why not? Those of you who know your placements. Okay. Nice. Mm-hmm. Mm. Feel underappreciated right now, Cancer, is what I'm getting here, but oh, I like how it ends. King of Wands. 10th house. I love when we get the 10th house of career when we're doing a career read. Woohoo! Yeah, and we got Gemini. Gemini is ruled by Mercury. It's the natural 3rd house. Okay. And then we have Venus, which is about money, honey. It's one of the money planets. Feeling good about what you're doing too. So I do like that. So when we talk about Gemini for a second, right? When we roll Gemini, it's time to put on your thinking cap, Cancer, and focus on learning something new that really excites you. So this can also mean, you know, that it's because it's Gemini, and Gemini is ruled by Mercury, which rules communication. It's time to reach out to somebody online, maybe, you know, make that phone call, send that text, send that email pertaining to something having to do with career. So it's time to reach out to that potential business partner, smooth over that working relationship, reach out to somebody maybe who you worked with once upon a time, you know, anything like that. This is also about taking a workshop, taking that certification, doing anything like that, learning something new. But this is the thing. You want to do it where it has direct application in your day-to-day now, not something that's like, in other words, like a degree. Like, let's say, you know, you're going to start going to medical school. I mean, you know, and that's fabulous, right? If you want to do that. But that's not the energy that we're talking about, because that's very much down the road, right? Because that's going to require a lot of time in. I'm talking about certifications, workshops, general information that you could pick up online. Learning, right? It really is about learning. It really is all about that North Node in Gemini right now for all of us. So I do like that for you. All right. And then we have the 10th house energy, right, which is career. So you're really being asked right now, Cancer, to really trust in your own self-sufficiency. And what would it take for you to believe that you really do? You got this, right? And that no one can take away the wisdom and the skill set that you have from anything, you know, that you've developed up to this point. Okay, but this indicates an opportunity that's going to be like a total 180 in career. in an area within your career that you have felt very stagnant in. So don't be afraid to shake it up, because this is a really, really, really good energy. And then we have Venus. So I do like Venus here. You really need to understand, though, where you need to compromise more, right? In your career, right? Have you been too hard on yourself, or you've been too hard on somebody else? You have to really figure out, compromise. And it's so important to compromise with ourselves. I don't think we do that enough. Where have you been really like beating yourself up about something, Cancer, having to do with your career, putting way too much weight on yourself, having to do with something, not cutting yourself enough breaks, or maybe not being hard enough on yourself, right? It's going to be different for all of you. But those are the crowning messages here. Keep in mind. So this tells me devil energy in the past, dealing with an imbalanced energy. So whatever that is. I mean, the devil is about lust, it's about greed, it's about, narcissism, it is imbalance, it has to do with addictions, any sort of imbalance, egotism. Somebody could have been any kind of imbalance, somebody who struggled with severe anxiety and depression, and it went untreated and ended up being a real issue in the workplace for you, anything like that. This could be maybe you struggled with these things, right? I mean, really, the devil energy can apply to you or to anyone that you're associated with, having to do with your career. But this was an issue in the past, the level of imbalance. And right now, though, we have the foundation, the situation we have is the Empress energy that's crossed by the Five of Swords. Oh, I don't mind this. This is good. Well, I love the Empress. I mean, she's the mother of the tarot after all, right? This is a Venus energy in astrology. So, foundation could be you doing anything, could be anything Venusian, anything appealing to the senses, right? You got to keep in mind, though, that your ego consciousness, which is your sun sign, Cancer, if you're watching this for your sun sign, is about nurturing and about caretaking, right? So you doing something within the realm of where you're giving of yourself to help people feel good. And I do see this as being a very benefic energy for you. But regardless, having to do in the general sense with career, the Empress energy is one of growth, right? Because she's the mother and she's perpetually pregnant. So what does the mother do? The mother gets pregnant, does not pop the baby out right away, though, right? So there's process here. There needs to be nurturing, cultivating, putting in the hard work, learning, making the phone calls, doing what's necessary to get something going, doing the homework to make something come to fruition. Now, that's being crossed by the Five of Swords energy, but also I'm not mad at this, right? 5 typically means conflict, but when it's with the sword energy, it's more of a conversation that needs to happen, and it's Venus and Aquarius. So Venus, because this is a career read, let's associate this to money, because it is a money planet, as well as self-esteem, and you really liking feeling really good about what you're doing, right, in this energy. And having a Venus in Aquarius is about the future. It's about how something going to roll out, how something is going to be handled differently other than what you're doing right now. So guys, this could mean for some of you that you're doing what you're doing and you adding a skill set to it, going into your future. For others of you, this could mean you looking at what you're doing right now and doing it differently, right? If you're in business together with somebody, excuse me, you guys sitting down and strategizing how are you going to handle things differently within the business to accommodate the new world that we're living in. For others of you, it's going to be realizing, you know what? I don't even resonate with what I'm doing anymore. Right? A lot of you are going to be in that space where it's like, I really need to figure this out, and you really honoring that and you entertaining a new path, but really honoring it by doing the homework, right? Doing the legwork. But it's figuring out, it's really sieving through the truth of something, right? Because swords are truth. It's reality. It's day to day. But having it be in Aquarius is all about, all right, future, how am I going to handle this day to day? Right? And again, going back to that lunar energy, right? The lunar eclipse energy, 6th house, 12th house energy. You're having it in your 6th house of day to day. So this really aligns with me. So we have the 4 of Wands in reverse is the crowning energy, and we have the 8 of Coins in reverse is the foundation. So this is telling me that right now you feel very unstable, Cancer, Cancer in your career, in the foundation of your career. Very but listen, this indicates delay more than anything, right? Normally in the upright, it's about a strong foundation. It's a Venus and Aries energy. It's a new path. it's, you know, it's money coming to you on that new path. And this just indicates delay to me, right? It's delay in that. Yeah, and the Eight of Coins, again, you know, Pentacle energy, it's you're feeling very disconnected to something. You're feeling very disconnected to your ability to make money in the way that you really need to move your life forward. You know, even if you have money coming in, you're feeling like, oh, you know, it's, you know, is it enough, right? And is it something that I could trust to still be existing in the near future? You know, is there's element of I'm getting a very strong feeling of not feeling like firmly footed. This was your feet in the air. Not feeling totally firmly footed in something. You know, even if you have the money coming in, just not feeling very confident in it being there tomorrow, it being there in 6 months, not, you know, just not being sure if you're going to be able to move forward and really serve the rest of your life in this, you know, in whatever you're doing. So that would explain why you really have your thinking cap on. Okay, Two of Coins energy, yeah. Two of Coins energy is that in reverse. First of all, the Two of Coins is you trying, in the upright is you having a decision between two jobs, two opportunities here, right? Two paths to take. But what this tells me in reverse is somebody could help you in your life that you're identifying in a way, and they're choosing not to help you. Excuse me. So that could be as a person. Now, if it's an influence, it's, you know, there are jobs available that are out there, but for some reason you're not able to really grab onto anything that you could actually decide, make a decision on, and move forward in. So it's like this feeling of you're not feeling fully appreciated, you know, where there might be opportunity that you're identifying out there, but you're either feeling unappreciated because you feel like you're being overlooked, or this could be where you feel like you're being unappreciated because you're not getting those callbacks. But this could be inciting this understanding that you do need to maybe in some way work on distinguishing yourself within your career in a different way by taking that workshop, by getting that certification, or even just by approaching your work from a different mindset, a different perspective. But I do get that you're in this space of feeling like, you know, hey, what about me over here kind of energy, you know? Now, the external influence to you is the Two of Wands. So this isn't you, this is external. Again, somebody is not appreciating you. Somebody is not appreciating you, and they're not offering you this new opportunity and this new path. This is Mars and Aries in reverse. You know, in the upright, it does indicate a brand new path. So, but in the reverse, this is you feeling like, again, hey, what about me? You know, just feeling very in a space of frustration, right? Because this is not going the way that you, I'm not even going to say wanted to, maybe thought it would. But what you need to understand, now, I'm not going to get too heavy into the astrology here, but what you need to understand about what's going on for you, Cancer, right now, energetically, as far as the astrology goes, you're being pulled from something to a better path for you. And I see this lining up in the cards. Yes. We have the Strength reverse card, which tells me that you're scared. You're scared. I mean, the Strength reverse is a card of egotism. It's digging your heels into something and being afraid to take that next step and jump into the water because you're afraid of what's going to be in there and what nasty things are going to be biting at your feet when you get in there. So it's fear of really grabbing onto something new. And when I say ego, guys, understand we all have ego, right? And there's egotism, and then there's, you know, unhealthy, where you're holding on to something too tight because you're scared. This is not real. This is just your fear position. That's just your fear position. I like that the outcome is faith. All right, so let's look at this a couple of ways. First of all, this is a Sagittarius energy. So I like that. We do have the South Node in Sag right now, and it is about, you know, letting go of something right now. Sagittarius energy is about you have to sacrifice something to bring yourself to that new level. You have to engage with that Gemini energy right now to arm yourself with new information, a new skill set, some sort of new something, a new perspective. And you need to do this. You need to hold on to this idea that that the answer is in the future, and the answer is in the learning and the moving forward. Sagittarius energy is ruled by Jupiter, which is about luck and expansion. Sagittarius is about moving forward with integrity, and it's, tapping into your belief system, right? And being very true to yourself as far as what it is that you're really meant to do in your career. So this is the thing. With Cancers is a lot of Cancers are going to be realizing that your first career, or what it is that you're doing right now, even though it brought you money, it doesn't resonate with you anymore. Even if it's a fantastic job, even if the money's good, you're in the space of feeling this lack somewhere inside of you. It could be in your wallet, but it could be within your emotional space, whatever it is. And I just see you being pulled towards this beautiful new something, right? This beautiful new something, and it ending up really, really great, because this is the thing, is the Cancer and Leo energy, the King of Wands. You're going to feel very passionate about what it is that you're doing, and that it's going to be all of that fabulous, right? But because it's you guys, so it's Cancer, there's going to be a safety element to it. Not only are you going to feel like, yeah, this is what I'm supposed to be doing, right? Because that's the Cancer energy, that metaphorical home space. But there's going to be an element of safety. You're going to get what you need here. You're going to get what you need. Yeah. And Leo's just a fiery energy, so you're going to be very excited about what it is that you're doing. Yeah, I do like this. Now, for some of you, that is the general energy moving forward. Now, for some of you, the King could actually be a person, because it's a core card. And this could be a person who is either has a really beautiful, exciting idea, and you jumping on board with it, and you guys, exploiting that idea, and it being really benefic for you guys, and being a really awesome thing in your life. For others of you, this could be an individual who's just offering you this job position. But no matter how we slice it, this is a beautiful energy where you're going to end up doing something that you're very passionate about, that's going to end up bringing you safety. So even if you don't feel like you're in a good position right now, and you feel underappreciated, and you feel like your options are limited, that is not going to remain the case, guys. You need to stay open to the energies. You need to. No negative Nancy nonsense right now. You really need to stay very open and very focused to allow the energies to do their thing. Like, don't allow yourself to sit this one out because times are hard right now for some of you, or you're confused, or you can't pinpoint. Stay open, stay open, stay open. And really do your homework on what really, really resonates with you in your day-to-day. Again, lots of changes going on in that day-to-day for you, that 6th house energy. So I do like it. All right, my friends, that is what I have for you. I'll see you in a few days for the astrology for June, and for that Black Moon Lilith video that I've been promising you guys. I will see you in a few days. But until then, you guys take care. Bye-bye.